Where does Sunan Kawniyya fit in?
Sunan al-Kawniyya.
Kawniyya. It's not in the notes, maybe I've missed it. But is what you're describing now as Fitra sounds like Sunan Kawniyya. It's just another reference I picked up somewhere.
Yeah, there are different classifications under Sunan Ilahiyya. Scholars who studied universal laws. I translate Sunan Ilahiyya as universal laws. Scholars who studied Sunan Ilahiyya, sometimes they differentiate between a Sunan al-Kawniyya that has to do with the creation of the universe, and a Sunan al-Ijtima'iyya that has to do with the creation of societies. So they say Sunan al-Ijtima'iyya is about civilization and communities and so on, and Sunan al-Ilahiyya is about the creation of matter and the sun. But to me, both are Sunan Ilahiyya, because what applies to the society also applies in nature. So, but they might take different names. Like from the Sunan al-Ijtima'iyya, they say al-Adl, for example, justice. But there is justice in the kawn, in the universe, in the form of balance. So what is justice anyway? When we talk about justice in a society, it's balancing rich and poor, powerful and powerless, etc. Balancing different stratas of a society, if you're going to stratify it in a particular way. Balances, and that is what justice is. So I see that the Sunan al-Kawniyya are tied to a Sunan al-Ijtima'iyya, and they are not different. And then under the Sunan al-Ijtima'iyya, the social universal laws, they talk about, let's say, Sunan al-Rizq, the universal laws of providence. So, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you thank Allah, Allah will give you more. قُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا يُرْسِلِ السَّمَاءَ عَلَيْكُمْ مِدْرَارًا. If you do istighfar and you correct yourself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send the rain and will give you providence. They call it Sunan al-Rizq. But the Sunan al-Rizq or providence laws are also part of the universal laws. Sunan al-Wasf, Sunan al-Kawn, Sunan al-Nasr. إن تنصروا الله ينصركم كتب الله لأغلبن أنا ورسلي. Like if you really give victory to Allah, Allah will give you victory, right? But if part of the ummah doesn't give victory to Allah, Allah will not give us victory as an ummah, and so forth. Sunan al-Nasr, Sunan al-Rizq, Sunan al-Zawjiyya, وإن من شيء ومن كل شيء خلقنا زوجين لعلكم تذكرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created everything in pairs. This is a universal law. Everything has to be in pairs. And everything that you think of has to have its kind of opposite. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that even in the universe, there is day and night. And there is, huda and dalal, guidance and misguidance, etc. And then Sunan al-Tawasul, that everything is connected in the universal law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has connected everything subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when He talks about the phenomena in the universe, He's connecting them. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار والفلك التي تجري في البحر بما ينفع الناس وما أنزل الله من السماء من ماء فأحيا به الأرض بعد موتها وبث فيها من كل دابة وتصريف الرياح والسحاب المسخر. When he talks about the universe, he is in the same sentence. He is talking about the water that falls from the sky and the ships that sail in the sea and the animals and the humans and this, and how all of this is connected basically with the cycles of water and the cycles of air and the cycle. Allah is saying all of this in the Quran. And the law of cycles. Sunan al-Tadawul, there is a law of cycle. وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. These days of power, we have given in cycles to people. The cyclical change in the universe is a law. And everything goes in cycle, up and down. Like this sine wave, those who studied mathematics. Up and down. The weather goes up and down. The stock market goes up and down. Even the man-made stuff. Like that. There is nothing in the universe that goes straight like that. It has to be part of a cycle. The ice age and what's it called? The accumulation of heat, subhanAllah. The ice age and the opposite, what's it called? What we have these days. Yeah, the climate change and so on.
Global warming. Global warming.
Global warming. Global warming and ice age. That is also a natural cycle, right? It's always like that. And when there is a change, the change has to go in a cycle. You know, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, when the Prophet ﷺ changed them, he didn't change them in one day. There was gradualism in their change. He made riba haram over steps. He made intoxicants khamr haram over steps. He made them pray over steps and fast and so forth. Everything was gradual because he is watching the fitrah that is gradually changing, that has to go through a cycle to change. And therefore, this is all part of the Sunnah. We mentioned last time as well the expressions of values. قيم المنفعة, قيم الخلق, وقيم الجمال. Utility or benefit, morality, and beauty. And values are also an important part of that composite definition of reality. What are your values as a human being? What is beautiful for you and what is ugly? What is moral for you and what is immoral? What is beneficial and what you consider harmful? These are values of an individual, of a community, of a society, of a nation, of an organization. As an organization here in this institute, what do we consider a success and what do we consider a failure? What do we consider as a beautiful way of presenting something and an ugly way of presenting something? And that is important because all of this is part of the Islamic framework. The Islamic framework has to include beauty as part of it. And we have many expressions of beauty you mentioned last time. Al-ihsan, al-husn, wal-ihsan. This is part of our deen. It's not, tahsiniyat, it's not luxuries. In our deen, beauty is a core issue. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that one of the maqasid, one of the objectives of creating animals is for beauty, for us. وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا جَمَالٌ حِينَ تُرِحُونَ وَحِينَ تَسْرَحُونَ. When He created the animals so that you can see beauty in them. And that is a maqsood of creating the animals, and that is part of our values, that animals are beautiful. Some of them are haram to eat, but they could still be beautiful. My kids, when they growing up, they hated pigs. I don't know, perhaps we lived in the Arabic Gulf at that time. They said, pigs, oh no. I said, pigs are haram to eat, but they could be cute animals, no problem. It's an animal, it's haram to eat only, but he could.
The mothers are letting their children look at what is new now, Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig, exactly, yeah.
And I now the other day looked at I looked at this thing and I asked my wife, what is this? Are you teaching this child about pigs?
Exactly, yeah. Some mashayikh.
And they say their children loved him.
Yeah, some mashayikh give a fatwa. Peppa Pig is haram. I said, no. It's not haram, it's just a cartoon. It's haram to eat. Allah. MashaAllah. So part of beauty is in Islam. It's actually part of our conception of the reality. What is beautiful in Islam? Why are Muslims not giving enough emphasis on beauty? It's sad. It's a sad reality that oftentimes we as Muslim communities we don't really beautify our life. And so, of course, many of us do. But oftentimes we have, like many of our Muslim majority countries, that is like some of the few countries left in the world where you find garbage in the street. It's not in the Cairo shape. Why is that? It's perhaps the only capital that is. I mean, there are much poorer countries than Egypt, let's say. But why is Cairo full of garbage? Why? It's not about poverty, because poverty is everywhere. I mean, I've been to other countries where they're poorer, like I've been to countries that are poorer than some parts of the Arab world, but why are Arabs dirty? You know, why the dirt? You know, in the North African side, and why don't we?
In the Gulf as well.
In the Gulf too, there's garbage, and people are rich.
Maybe it's not dirty, Sheikh. Maybe they're not giving enough priority to it.
Exactly. So the concept of beauty, we are Muslims. We are supposed to be the cleanest nations, not Denmark and Norway and stuff. But it's people who are not Muslim, they are usually cleaner. Walk in Beirut, you will know the Christian part from the Muslim part by the garbage on the ground. With all honesty, the Christian part. I know the French have a hand, and I know there's a lot of politics there. But you walk in the Christian part of Beirut, and it's flowers everywhere, and it's this and that. And you enter the Muslim part, and you start to see garbage on the street. Why? You know, why don't we have, you know, the Muslim part of Beirut as beautiful as the Christian part of Beirut?
Why?
Why? Allah A'lam. This requires you to write a thesis on this.
The issue with beauty is that it's very subjective. You know, it's
Come on.
no,